Look how easy that is. Whoop.
Hey ho.
How goes it?
It's alright.
I got some nice spicy new sounds.
You sure do. They were all excellent.
I was just cropping them up. Ignis, are you up there? Yes. Hi, Angel. How goes it? Angel, I got new sounds. I got funny joke. I got son of a. I got help me.
Son of a is the best.
And I got oh no.
Son of a is amazing. They're all fantastic additions. Your Twitch is much better now. It's with a V, not an F.
It's with it's with the B, Angel.
Oh. Your Twitch is a more magical, wondrous place.
A meme.
Son of a bitch!
There we go. It's a meme paradise now.
We're spending all our life living in a memster's paradise.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like so Nova.
Is that a thing? Is that a word? Do people say that?
You know, it's like a supernova when it's kind of just mediocre. It's a mediocre supernova.
It's so Nova.
I'm just a regular nova.
Dude, sick.
Look at everyone spectating.
Yeah, fuck this place.
I can't believe. Yeah, So Nova, nice. That's a good one. I can't believe that they're doing Major League Baseball stuff. When you know, you already did baseball. Like
basketball.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You already did basketball, now you're doing baseball. Like it's a soccer sport. Why can't you get us the MLS teams? Then I could support my soccer team that just won the championship by wearing their flag. Guys.
Yeah, you know, corporate deals and all that. Who knows?
I know, and yeah, I know the developers are fans of the English Premier League. I would take that even. And the crazy thing is that they advertise for Rocket League in MLS games. They have them on like the ad boards around the field. So they clearly are trying to pull from that audience. It makes me sad. But how was your day, Ashton? How's it going for you, man?
It was normal. I found a bad bug. It's great.
How's that that computer that was fucky?
I don't know yet. I gotta go talk to the guy. I still haven't. I was gonna today, but I found the bad bug and stopped everything else.
Oh no! I'm basically doing the oh no command now.
It's so good. Oh no. Just that guy in general. He did one of the holy shits today when I was watching JoJo, and I was like, yeah. This is why I watch this show.
I wish I could do it as I wish I could do a good impersonation of him because he's hilarious.
I'm dead.
That's so Raven. More like that's so Nova.
Watch me. I pole dance and go. Good.
We're a bit rusty. It's been a couple days.
Funny joke's pretty good. I kind of wish I would have gotten the angrier one, but there's Dan's also like talking about stuff when that happens.
Yeah, it was a nice clean one. It sounded real good.
Real clean.
So fresh and so clean.
I can't believe they're doing.
Funny joke.
There you go. I'm so. I can't believe they're doing a Legend of Zelda Crypt of the Necro Dancer. That's nuts.
I can't believe it's not butter.
I was so hyped when I saw that. I don't even like Crypt of the Necro Dancer that much, but I do love Zelda music.
Yeah, the music is so good. It was immediately stuck in my head for the rest of the day after that trailer.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't need to tap it a second time. Yeah, it's... I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play it. I'm probably gonna be terrible at it. I don't know. Definitely seems like a very stressful game. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Oh, I wanted to tap it, but he tapped it.
I'm looking forward to Sekiro. It's supposed to not like launch until tomorrow, but apparently they moved it, so it's gonna be out at midnight, like the second we're done with Rocket League. Team 8.
Oh, that's sweet. Midnight's good.
I don't have to get up early, so I might even launch it in like 30 minutes or so.
Kind of sucks. It's gonna be a while until I play it, but
I mean, you're having a good time. It's not like you don't have anything to play right now. You got plenty of stuff to play.
I just really want to play it. But it's not going to be for a while, like till I'm done with Metal Gear Rising, maybe? Oh,
Oh shit.
I didn't even grab Boost. Doctor Disconnect, wow.
I'm pretty excited because I beat Hollow Knight today. Yeah. I got the true good ending finally. Been hanging over my head since I beat the game and got the normie ending.
Nice.
So I'm 106% complete out of 112. So 4% of that is the Pantheon, which I'm never going to touch. 1% of it is one of the DLC bosses, but I like took a different path, so I can't fight that boss unless I like start a whole new save file. So that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's 5% of it. So the other 1% is that third arena fight that's been giving me trouble. So I might do that and get to 107% out of 112, but that's probably the closest I'm gonna get to completely mastering the game. But more than likely, I'm just gonna play Sekiro now and move on. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate it. And it feels good that I did it on the eve of the game that I'm excited for. Now I can feel like I can turn the page and move on now.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there was a dude who has been trying to beat every FromSoft. Whoa, I am getting weird disconnect stuff. He's been trying to beat every FromSoft Soulsborne game in a row, back to back, without taking a single hit. And he completed it like last night.
Huh.
So he played Demon Souls, all three Dark Souls, and Bloodborne, and beat all 3 of them without getting hit once, and he played them all back-to-back on Twitch. He's been trying for years, and he gets it on the eve of the new FromSoft game. How cool is that?
That's nuts.
The dude went absolutely berserk when he beat the boss in Dark Souls 3. It finally all came together. Chat was going crazy. But yeah, the game's getting good reviews, and it's gonna be hard as balls, and I'm gonna suck at it. Nice. I'm gonna suck at it, but it looks fun, so hopefully I have fun along the way, even if I get stuck.
It's not about the amount of times you die, it's about the cicados you met along the way.
Exactly. There's no summons in this one. You're not gonna be able to get help for bosses.
Really?
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Well,
Not even like as like a needing help thing, like the co-op dudes or.
yeah. I can see how that's... But I'm trying to reserve judgment.
Ah!
There's so much that's different about this one that I'm kind of holding off judgment on a bunch of different choices. Like that whole thing about the more times you die, the more that disease, like dragon rot, spreads. And like, well, that sucks. I'm gonna die a whole bunch of times. But then I found out that you can actually cure it later. So the dragon rot will infect NPC, like friendly NPCs. But, you know, again, it's one of those things. I was kind of judging it on that, like, oh, that was a bad move. But you know what? I should just wait and see how it's actually implemented. So I am sad that there's no summoning other people, but you know, maybe after playing it, I won't be quite as bummed about that. But overall, you know, it is kind of sad you don't get to play with friends and stuff.
I hope there's Estes.
Yeah, the I saw him like drinking out of like his thing to heal, and it seemed fairly quick, but I don't know how it replenishes. I do know that using your prosthetic arm uses up a consumable. Like, just using the prosthetic arm is a consumable. I was like, really? That sounds fucking terrible, because again, I'm gonna eventually have to grind that at some point, is what it sounds like. But I don't want to judge it until I've actually played it, but I don't know if I like that. Like, unless it's real easy to grind, but then at that point, why did you make it a consumable if you were just gonna make it so? I don't know. We'll see. Everything else about the game looks fucking incredible, though. Oh shit, I'm stuck. Okay.
Oh,
I'll just do that.
get him.
How was your day, Angel? I finished watching, I should have let you post. Oh! I should have let you post the Bloodborne guy, because your video came the year before and had all the bosses. So if people watch it, they're gonna watch them out of order, but like I did.
I doubt people are gonna watch them out of order though. I doubt anyone's gonna watch any of them. I
That's
mean,
true. But
they're so long.
I watched them both and was thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, those are.
The fucking, oh man, that boss got him twice. The one with the dudes up top dropping.
Oh, the one reborn.
One reborn, yeah. I knew it had the one in it. I couldn't remember what the other word was. We got him in both runs. Ah shit. Didn't mean to hit that.
I'm not gonna get high enough for that.
I gave it to him. That was dumb.
Oh, yep, no, that's I want to hit that forward.
Stayed an
but-
extra half-hour work because there were tons of call-ins. Then me and Justin got some deli Chinese food. It was still young. That sounds nice.
Ooh. I wanted some Chinese food yesterday. It was that or Taco Bell. Because I couldn't figure out a place to go that was low carb in between, like, where I was and home. And so, like, I was just like, I guess either Chinese food then or Taco Bell. If I'm gonna have, I grabbed Taco Bell because it was faster and I had a craving for it a little slightly more.
Teammate's in a really strange spot. I wasn't sure if I could go for that or not. No!
Up!
I'm having like one of the best games I've ever had.
I found out that the people that I get my low carb bars from, they also make low carb cookies. Quest.
Fucking Ad Night actually posting pictures of his feet.
Oh god. Oh.
At least I assume so. I didn't do like a reverse image search on him.
Oh, why not there, son, bro? Why didn't you just like take it, save it on your computer, you know? Maybe try to really look at it and do like a forensics analysis on it.
It was pretty horrible. Why isn't that how we spell it? Horror. Horrible. That is a mouthful. Never mind. That's why we don't say it like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yep. I was a little bit too close for that one there, buddy.
No, I'm so bad.
Oh, it's right to that guy. It's fine though. They don't got it. They ain't got shit. No, they have shit. I bumped a man. I did it accidentally though. Oh!
We have the lead, so don't have to get too aggressive on that attack. Oh shit! Oh shit! Like 5 boosts there.
Oh.
Son of a bitch! Good.
Stop touching me. Stop touching me! No touchy!
So I have what I consider to be a funny story. Maybe not as funny to everyone else, but I really liked it. Elijah had a math problem today. It was like, Michael buys a TV that's 40 inches tall and 70 inches wide. What is the size of the TV? Because, you know, TVs are measured like in their screen size is measured diagonally. So to find the diagonal screen size, you have to use Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, Elijah did a squared plus b squared equals 6,700, and he forgot that you have to find the square root of the answer.
Oh
so he
God.
put his answer was a TV that is 6,700 inches, which
Jesus.
is like almost 600 feet. It's the size of 2 football fields. And I was like, holy shit, that's like that's almost like 10 IMAX screens. It's just,
He didn't look at it and go, "No, that ain't
yeah,
right." He
that's,
just
I
kind
mean,
of went,
that's why I looked all that up. I was like, let me see how big an IMAX screen is. It's like, oh, did you not look at that
Nailed
answer and go, wait a second? I was like, have you ever seen a TV measured in 6,000 inches before?
I love love it when people just churn out like answers to things or just stuff, and they don't double check it, so they're just going in robot mode, just going through and doing it. So they have some wacko answers.
Because if that was just a regular math problem, it would have been just like, hey, you forgot to find the square root of 6,700. But because it was a word problem and it was like related to a real life problem, it was just hilarious. Like when Olivia did her budget and she told that person that they were spending too much money on food.
Yeah.
It was only like $700 a month or something like that.
It was like 300.
Yeah, it was something where they were only spending like $7 a day on food, and she's like, "No, that's where you need to cut."
Nice, we win. We got win.
University
of Northern Colorado. UNC. Boo!
It breaks up the monotony of going over boring school stuff when they get an answer that's just so wrong that it makes me giggle.
Yeah.
Olivia's really excited because Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out today, or we bought the movie today at least.
Yeah, that movie looks good. I kind of want to see it at some point in my life.
Bad. We took her to the movies to see it because she was so amped, and she's like all into Spider-Gwen now. She's just in love with Spider-Gwen. She's done drawings of Spider-Gwen. It's her favorite character now.
I love Spider-Gwen's design.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. So she's been dying to see it again after we went to the movies.
Ah! I got bumped into that.
And not to like make a big political situation about it, but people sometimes downplay the role of representation in media. Like, wow, goodbye teammate. You know I got bumped and couldn't save that, but whatever. You go ahead and leave.
I got bumped into him too for one of the shots, but nope. He's got to get out of here.
People downplay what it means to like have a representation in media. Like, oh, so what? There's a female superhero, or so what? A black superhero. But when you
He's back.
when you
Oh, he's gone again.
But having like seeing how much she lights up and she gets excited about the idea of Spider-Gwen, and you know obviously she can like superheroes that aren't women like
Wow,
her.
guy left over there.
Damn, what is with people tonight?
I downplay the representation in media, at least for me, because I don't give a shit.
But you know,
I don't know how much it means
for
for other
kids
people.
though, you know it can mean a lot.
Yeah.
And I just think, in general, like, for variety's sake, like it is cool to see superheroes that have like something, you know, that's not just white dudes every time.
Oh.
Just for the sake of variety. So, okay, so like, I get that sentiment of you don't want it forced in to something, but But like, what's a good example of something that was forced diversity?
There's the controversy or kind of recently with Overwatch people. How they introduced Soldier 76, I think it was the latest one. They introduced him as gay,
So
and they were like, by the way, he's now gay, and people thought that that was forced because they already have like a bunch of gay characters or whatever, and like none of like I don't know exactly why part of his backstory didn't matter about it or something. I don't know. They felt like they just keep trying to be inclusive. And oh yeah, it came on the heels too of some like controversial like business stuff happening within the company. And all of a sudden they reveal that Soldier 76 is gay, and so they thought that they were just trying to do it to be like, look how positive of a company we are despite this dumb thing that just happened.
and to be fair, that's speculation though, right? Like maybe they wanted that character to be gay already. Or like people
Right.
get mad when like the source material was a white guy. Wow, what a shot! Like the source material was a white guy and they changed it to a black guy. But unless the person's race was actually like part of their identity to some important extent, and I think there are reasons where that could be a thing. Like the Black Panther, that would be weird for that to be played by an Asian guy because that's kind of like part of who he is. Or Captain America, that would be weird for him to be an Asian guy, but it wouldn't be weird for him to be a black guy. You know what I mean? Like that would still fit with the character as far as I'm concerned. And
I think if you have an established character and you switch him, I don't like that he switched. I like things to remain consistent. Like if Solid Snake was all of a sudden like he's a black guy now for some reason, you're like, yeah, but like he wasn't for the entire series and now he is. That doesn't make any sense. That's inconsistency
but,
in the media.
like especially comics, they break continuity constantly.
Well, comics are comics are different things. Like they're comics that people die and then they're not dead. Like I can't. Green Lantern's been black, man. I don't.
Yeah, Miles Morales is like
The Green Lanterns
Miles
are
Morales is like a
chosen.
whole new person, so it makes sense. But it's like people are jaded because they think that a company is doing it for PR points. But I mean, so that means like, oh, look at this company trying to manipulate me by using diversity. I get that sentiment, but otherwise, like, who cares? Otherwise, like, what's the issue? Why would that make you any less like companies try to make their characters appeal to people, and shit. You know, would you be mad because they gave her big boobs and it's like, oh well, we know that appeals to people, so we're gonna do that.
Giving a character big boobs is a little like not exactly this same thing, because like big boobs you can change on a human being in real life pretty easily. So if there was a character like, at least for me, it's about continuity's sake. So like if you gave a character big boobs all of a sudden, or like in One Piece's example, the girl's boobs became bigger and bigger and bigger as the series went along for some reason. It's like, okay, well, I mean, boobs change size on people. That's what happens. But if a character went from male to female,
Yeah, within the same property, like the same, like I wouldn't expect between seasons 2 and 3 for someone to change their race or like
Yeah,
sexual orientation. That would be ridiculous.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing that I care about. Because like in Stargate, they had a Dr. Weir in it, and they introduced her in like 1 or 2 episodes, and she was a blonde girl and a totally different actor. And you obviously get where I'm gonna go, because when they started Atlantis, she was a different actor where she wasn't like blonde, she didn't have the wavy hair, and she was a totally different actor. And I understood that, like, oh, you have to get different actors, right? But I was still like, oh man, like I don't like that they changed basically they changed the character. But again, you know, they probably couldn't get another actor. So
the first part I see there, Angel, is that as long as they have an interesting personality, and I mean, yeah, now you're starting to judge the character for who they are, and like that's really how we should be judging the character. Like I get, don't change a character's continuity partway through, like something that's already established, sure, but like, what actually is the problem with an all-female Ghostbusters team? Like, if you're mad because you think the movie makers did it just because it's like they're trying to,
I couldn't reach it. Damn it!
they're trying to get hype points, they're trying to appeal to the left. It's like, okay, I get why you think they're being manipulative, but again, they're trying to make a product they think people want to see, and they think people want to see more women representation. So but like, so what? Like, if the movie was good with 4 female Ghostbusters, then what does it matter?
For Ghostbusters, at least for me, those aren't like a character that like already is a thing, right? Like, so any character could become a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
And so like, if I don't know any of the names of any of the Ghostbusters, but say
They made new people though. They didn't like reboot and say like the 4 original characters are now women or something.
yeah,
They made new
Yeah,
characters though,
that's-
so
and
like,
that's-
what does it matter?
yeah, then that obviously doesn't matter to me in my brain.
And oh, I'm having a good night. I'm having a good night. And it's not just I'm black female superhero. You have to like me because I'm diverse. It should be I'm black female because I'm interesting. Besides that, that's not to say race or gender can't have anything to do with the character like Black Panther. But yeah, not the whole. So obviously I agree. That would be arguing that like one-note characters are bad. That like if the only thing they talk about is their race, gender, or like the fact that they're a Muslim, you know, then it certainly feels like we're just trying to appeal to the people who get off on the idea of more diversity. But like, shit. Because like that's the thing, is that like I do actually want to see more diversity, because if every main character was a bland white dude, like short cropped hair, muscly white guy, that would get really boring. And a lot of stuff is like that. So the problem with Ghostbusters is that it's not in the same universe. Like, they're trying to capitalize on Ghostbuster franchise without referencing what made the franchise great. The original, if they were inspired to buzz ghosts because the original crew, that's a different story. I don't see that argument at all. Why do they need to reference the first one to be good?
Apparently the second one was really bad.
They're trying to capitalize
And that-
on the Ghostbusters franchise. I mean, sure, but it is their franchise. They own it without referencing what made it great. I mean, they made a shit movie, there's no question about that. But I don't see why they need to reference the first one before they're allowed to make another one. And I think some people complained there was too many references, like they used oh shit, like they had the music, and what do you mean by reference the original one? I guess is like, should they? Are you just saying like they needed to see at the beginning, like, wow, the guys in the first movie were great, we should do that too? I don't see how that would have made it better. I mean, that would have been a cool callback, because the first one was a pretty fun movie. Oh, he bumped his teammate.
Are they yelling at each other? No, they're all just sitting there.
And that seems to be like you just have a problem with rebooting the movie in general, not necessarily because it has 4 ladies in the lead role, which is kind of more the question I was arguing about. Is it like, how does making it 4 women like automatically make it something to complain about? Like, if you put 4 women in the roles and it's a good movie, then so what? If you put 4 black guys and the movie's good, so what? Even if that comes from the movie studios going like, oh, we got to get more diverse. Let's get an Asian guy and, you know, a woman that's black. I'm running out of ways to be diverse. Gay characters. Like, even if that's just for diversity's sake, as long as the property is good, I don't see why it matters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have any arguments against what you're saying. I mean, when talking about the Soldier 76 thing, I was talking about when that thing happened. I talked about it during Metroid Prime, and if I remember right, I'm like, I don't really get like the hubbub around it, because like it's 9-1 right now. I just realized.
He's been kicking ass.
That one, people were saying it was potential forced diversity because of the company was in bad water or whatever. But the thing is, when they announced it in comic form. I was like, well,
Yeah,
they had to like commission somebody to make a comic beforehand, before the bad shit was happening. So like, were they planning on, this bad shit's gonna break in the news?
Let's just sit on this comic until bad PR comes. I had a double hat trick and I still didn't get 1,000 points. A double hat trick.
I think it was 10-1 though, so that's, that's.
No, I want to complain. Let me complain.
I feel like they're just making them women because that's the thing to do
why
nowadays.
Is that bad? Like, why is it bad that they're jumping on the use more women in media bandwagon? Unless it gets to the point where you're like, I'm sick of seeing just women, but I don't think we're at that point yet.
Like, the only thing I can think of that would bother me is, for one, I just don't like forced diversity on like anything.
And what does that mean? What does forced diversity mean?
You say, we don't have enough blank demographic of people, so we're gonna put them in because it's gonna give us PR points. Like, I guess it's doing it for the PR points is the main thing. But like for a movie, like, that's, especially if they're original characters, it doesn't fucking matter to me. But if a company comes out and they're like, their big advertisement spiel is the fact that that they're potentially like, look at us, we're the diverse movie. I'd be like, well, all right, like, but so like, it sounds like now you're making a movie and doing the doing this character selection again for PR points.
The only way I could see that
And-
being an actual detriment is if they pick a worse actor because
I redirected
that person is diverse. Like if you could have chosen a character that would fit if you choose an actor that would have fit, if you don't choose an actor that would have fit the character better or done a better job, and instead gave that role to someone who's diverse. But like, how could you possibly say that? You know, they go through like hundreds of people in the casting call, so just because
Fuck.
just because there's a woman or a gay person does not mean that like a straight white guy got booted that would have done a better job.
No, yeah, I mean that's not what.
So
I'm
like
saying.
how, I just don't know like how can you know that it's forced? Yeah, all you it's like an
It's-
assumption at that point.
Again, if they make it part of a advertisement campaign talking about their diversity and shit,
Can you think of an example where that's happened?
I can't. No, at all. I'm not saying it has happened either. I'm giving hypotheticals here.
Because I'm not as hardcore on this stance as I may be coming across. Because I do think that using diversity for the PR points, I do think that's really slimy. I get where you guys are coming from, and I agree there. But I'm also not upset that we're getting more diversity. Like, I also don't think this is a problem.
I really don't either. I don't give a shit.
Because as I said, I'm a huge fan of the Ocean's 11 movies. Then they came out with the all-female cast of Ocean's 8, and they got some really good actresses for it. And I had a lot of problems with the movie, but none of them were the fact that the actresses aren't good enough. Some of them should not have been there. But what can I say? Overall, like, the movie was fine. And I think an all-female cast can do a great job. The fact that the Ghostbusters were women doesn't even bother me. Yeah, see, you know, that's the thing, is like, it shouldn't, but like, people complain about forced diversity, but you know, I feel like you would need evidence to say this was forced.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, at least for me, talking about this, like, I can't argue for those people because I don't agree with them. You know, I don't. But I think, you know, those people might think that it's forced because they're jumping to conclusions and then they hate it.
And I do
I
hate
think that's-
identity politics as well, Angel. I can agree with you there. But I do think it's also fair to point out that, you know, women women have had a good role in Hollywood overall, I think. But still, like, male.
They haven't had as much lead roles.
Right.
Though, I
Yeah,
don't
that
think.
and black people and gay people and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen like a trans superhero yet. And I feel like if we did, people would be like, "Oh, just doing it for the PR points."
No.
It's like you only picked that person because of their trans, and that might not be fair to the person who's doing their best to be a good actor. So you're kind of playing identity politics there, like only seeing them for their non-white cis maleness.
Oh
Boy,
god.
I'm getting worse. Here's an example of
I'm-
forced diversity of body type. People are wanting like fat people in fighting games or adventure games where the character's running around a lot. Doesn't make sense to make the character fat unless in a fighting game you're just a sumo wrestler. Kind of a different issue, similar enough. I think that is fair.
That really depends too, though, because like if the game is trying to go for realism,
Yeah.
then sure, yeah. But
Like as far as a fighting game goes, I think diversity is kind of an important part of your character roster, and I think having 1 or 2 fat characters in a fighting game is perfectly fine, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I get what you're saying, that you know, it wouldn't make sense for a character to be super athletic but not look it in the thing. I can't think of a ton of examples where that's happened. And
yeah, if like The Last of Us had like a fat person and they were
well,
running like
that would
crazy,
make absolutely no sense because it's post-apocalyptic. Like, where'd you get all that food, man?
well, that, and also like they're trying to go for realism within the post-apocalyptic. So, but like
Bayonetta is not going for seriousness. So
yeah, if there's a fat character, which I think there's plenty in Bayonetta.
Really?
You know, probably enemies, if I had to guess. Especially, like, monsters. There's a lot of fat monsters that move quick, and they defy expectation for movement. I don't know. I don't know about in Bayonetta, but there... but just over-the-top games like that in general, like maybe Blaze Blue or anything like that, if there's a fat character doing shit, then yeah.
See, you're saying it's clearly pandering, but like, if it appeals to people, that's kind of what their job is to entertain you. Again, I bring up big boobs, like, oh come on, every woman has large boobs. It's like, well, if people like it, they're gonna buy it, and if they want to cut a slice of fat people market and put them in an adventure game and make them feel empowered by having a fat character run around, that's pandering, sure, and you might not like it, but if that entertains those people, I think there should be a certain amount of realism, even if it's a fantasy game, but that's my opinion.
Funny joke.
Yeah, I don't like fantasy games. It depends again. Like Bayonetta, where you're like literally standing on top of a missile flying through the air, or like Metal Gear Rising, where you jump on top of missiles from missile to missile and missile to reach a thing, or like I'm not gonna hit that.
What? It's all about fitting the developer's vision. Like, if they wanted over-the-top ridiculousness, they can do what they want.
But here's a hard one for me. Like Link, if they made Link fat.
Okay, so now we've got the continuity thing, first of all.
Yeah.
But I mean, a character can gain weight in between games.
Yeah, but if he was like running around in the game fat, I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that, because that game doesn't have extreme wackiness that doesn't fit some shit. It's got some fantasy elements, but it's not like super over the top.
So I guess at that point, because I would also not want that. But I guess, you know, you're just kind of saying like, I would prefer not to. I don't know. Fatness is a little different than another race. Like, what if they made Link black? It's like you can't gain blackness in between games.
Well, no, but like the links are different every single time, just about.
Okay.
But that one, like, that one's a bit weird too, because like they're elves, right? Or like kind of elvish. And elvish is usually known for their white glistening skin. But like, and Ganondorf is usually the black dude. Like, just traditionally, right? And so it's like, it's not like continuity's sake, but it's breaking then like a game's kind of tradition and theme.
Gerudo
Link.
Link.
Yeah, because if they made a fucking Gerudo Link, I wouldn't hate it. Like, I don't know. It's just that one's a bit strange for me.
Yeah, I definitely get the continuity argument. I think that is a fair one. But overall, the whole like they're only making this character to pander. It's like, well, so? Like if it's a new character, if they're not ruining lore, I don't see why it matters.
It's like you said with the corporate slimy thing too. That's the thing I don't like about some
It's
Force
just trying
stuff.
to manipulate me by doing that.
Yeah. And that makes me have an assumption initially that it's like you guys care a lot about getting your PR points, not necessarily like about the thing that you're
Like
making.
the vision.
That might not be the case.
Like a developer's or an artist's vision was changed
Yeah.
to make it. Oh shit.
But
again,
like,
how would you know that?
Yeah, but people are gonna have their bias before it too. Once that happens, right? The people that are gonna make the assumption on that, they're gonna be like, well, it's bad because of that.
Oh!
No, son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch!
But like again, especially with movies, like talking about movies with that shit, man, you're talking about a guy who you're talking to a guy who really doesn't enjoy movies all that much, but doesn't like hate them, and like if there's really shitty things in a movie, I can tolerate it. I don't like hate it, but I also don't like it. I can just tolerate it. So it doesn't. If they put a bad actor in a movie, man, I'm probably not gonna notice. I'm probably not gonna notice that shit. I'm probably gonna be like, they're fine to me. I don't fucking know. They're better than me. There was once where I was just like, wow, this voice actor is really terrible, and I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, just at the end of the day, my overall point is, I have no problem giving, other people chances at lead roles and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
like Miles Morales is a great character.
Who's Miles Morales?
The
Is that
new
Spider-Man?
Black Spider-Man.
Okay.
Ah! I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, again, the continuity thing. If they made him Peter Parker, then I would probably have a mild problem with it. But they named him a different guy. It's like this is a different dude.
And he learns from Peter Parker in the movie. Obviously, he was a character before this movie came out, but
Get in there.
some people argue that the fictional representation should more or less match the real-life representation. Like, if there's only 13% black people in the primary audience in the movies and stuff, should have around the same 13. Yeah, I think that's ridiculous. Why should we be like measuring with statistics to see if we're getting the appropriate amount?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Again, there's potential
Holy
accuracy's
shit, he was
sake.
going backwards?
There's potential accuracy things like fucking the Civil War, right? If they had a Civil War movie and they had like black soldiers or some shit, you'd be like, I'm no history buff, so correct me if I'm ever wrong, but I assume that they were not taking tons of soldier roles for black people during those times.
I think there were slaves that fought for the North. That would actually be interesting. There you might have some black people in a Civil War game.
Yeah.
Actually, if anything, it probably would be interesting to look at what life was like for black people if you did $50 of black people.
Oh, God.
Oh man. I see what they're saying in the fact that if they decided the movies and stuff had 50%, then it seems like pandering. And they make movies with all black people, and they expect an all black audience. Is that pandering? I mean, I guess, but is there a problem with that? No.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, who cares? Are there movies with 100% white people? You bet your ass there are, and I don't have a problem with those.
I expect. You talk about movies. I think you I think she just kind of means actors getting roles in movies. If it was a perfect world, and we lived in a vacuum, or whatever the fuck, I guess a vacuum wouldn't be. But if we lived in a perfect world, the statistics of the amount of actors that would be in Hollywood would exactly match the statistics of the people of the region in which they are, which is the United States, because it's in Hollywood, I guess, would match the population of the United States.
Well, I mean, I think it would be the perfect world scenario would be meritocracy. Just the best actors got the roles, but it's not. They don't always pick actors just for their acting ability, because like a cuter actress is more likely to get a role even if she sucks, because she's more likely to sell tickets. Is that pandering? Are you mad about that? I mean,
ooh, that was weird. Look at this shot, it's weird. Yeah,
you could be mad that she got that was a weird shot. What the hell? You could be mad that
I was trying to hit it towards the net, but I didn't expect that shot.
prettier people in general are more likely to be on screen because they're more pleasing to look at. So, you know, actors are picked based on how much the movie thinks they'll be able to sell that actor in front of the screen. And if they think that a Muslim actor is going to put more butts in seats, they're going to go for it. You know, it's more of a capitalism thing than a meritocracy thing.
Well, that's why you have all these, like, The Last Samurai type movies where you have, like, white man comes and saves the foreign people's butts, is because the United States audience, they know, who was it again in Last Samurai?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Scientology man.
Because they know Tom Cruise is gonna... People know Tom Cruise as opposed to people might not know Asian actor person that...
They did the same thing in reverse for The Great Wall with... Or not in reverse, but they did the same thing with Matt Damon. But,
and for China.
Right. But they specifically did not... Neither one of those movies, the main character was like, came in and saved them. They was more... Because that is like a pretty shitty trope, is when the white guy comes in and saves the world for the foreigners. But in both of those movies, the main character was more just like the I forget what it's called, but it is kind of like the stand-in for the audience. Like, oh, like I'm experiencing all of this for the first time, just like the audience is, so now they can explain stuff to me, so the audience can hear it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and like for me, The Last Samurai, I loved it back in the day, but then when I think about it now, I'm like, man, I'd rather just have like a movie with like samurais, you know what I mean?
But
and not have.
I get that.
But that's preference at that point.
Yeah, it is part of, like, there's nothing wrong with what they did in The Last Samurai. Because Tom Cruise is a fantastic actor.
Oh, fuck me.
Tom Cruise is a great actor and did a good job in that role, and they treated it with deference and respect. They, you know, he wasn't just like, let me show you fuckers how it's done.
Yeah, and he went with their ways too. He like adapted to their traditions and.
If anything,
like
they glorified the Japanese samurai a little too much and made them like they were gods and that they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, they're definitely glorified fantasy samurai for sure.
Oh shit. Now something that people are making stinky about, I'm not totally sure my opinion on, is making James
Oh
Bond.
my god.
Hi Mipa!
Hi Mipa, how you doing?
If they pick Idris Elba for James Bond, then we are all blessed, regardless of his skin color, because he is amazing and should absolutely get the chance to play James Bond.
How you doing, Meep? James Bond is also one of those where I don't give a shit. I hate that James Bond is different all the time. He's basically Doctor Who. Like I don't.
Yeah. Like they made Doctor Who a woman, but by all accounts, she's doing a good job. So is that forced diversity? It's like, well, if they picked a good person for the job, oh shit, I didn't think I was in. Then what does it matter? He's always been white, but he's always a different person. They're basically parallel universes. Or just like a new agent every time. I'm not actually sure if they've clarified that. I guess as long as he acts like James Bond, his race shouldn't matter, because his personality and skills would make him... Yeah, like his whiteness was never... His Britishness is important, but there can be a black British guy. So I don't see why that should be a problem at all. If they pick a terrible black actor, then you can oh my god. What?
Yeah, I got it.
What?
I got it. That was a good double tap.
The audacity of this man. We need a new audio clip. Does any of the audio clips work for like excitement?
Cosmgasm.
Cosmgasm does work. I was thinking of the one you added today to show off from Mifa, but
No, the ones I added today are very much distressed.
okay.
That's a lot of damage.
Like Idris Elba is a fantastic actor, and that would not be like picking a black guy over a good white actor because he's amazing.
I don't even know. Can we like label a movie that Idris Elba is in that I might know?
He was in the
I don't know
second
who
Pacific
Idris Elba is.
Rim. He was in The Office. He was in... Oh, he was actually in the first Pacific Rim. My bad. I don't think you've seen him in anything.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
But just trust me that he's good at what he does. Oh, he's
Isn't
shit.
he
He is
Thor?
in Thor. That's right. He's,
Oh, as who?
Hemdall?
I've seen a Thor.
Hemdall or something like that. Rogue One. Are you sure?
No, I did actually like Rogue One, Mifa. I did in fact enjoy
Do
Rogue
not
One.
remember him in Rogue One.
He was the dude. Oh,
Well, I guess I was wrong then.
all the stuff on him. You haven't really narrowed it down.
You know what? I was thinking of the Han Solo movie.
And died when the Death Star fired on Jeddah. Didn't like almost everyone die when that happened? Just about, except for like some shitty crew members.
I don't remember.
I'd have to see a picture. I don't remember. Most of the stuff I remember from that movie was fucking Ip Man being a badass.
Yeah, he was cool.
He was one with the Force or whatever.
Forced putting Asian people in our Star Wars movie. Forced diversity.
I love it, man. I watched Ip Man like 1, 2, and 3, and I think 3 made me cry. I forget, but it made me cry. Hold on, I'm doing good. Just got back from D&D. Your poor Bard Rye got zapped, frozen, and almost turned to stone. Ugh. That's a lot of status effects for one session. I don't know. That sounds like a lot to me. Were you going against like elementals or something? How do you spell it? It's on my screen. Idris Elba.
See, I guess my main point is that I actually really like all the new diversity, and unless a better actor or a better fit for the character is getting booted because of it, I don't have a problem with it. And I don't know how you could possibly prove that someone better was kicked to get the more diverse person. Are you sure he was in Rogue One? No, that was Forrest Whitaker. That wasn't Idris Elba. The dude with the lazy eye.
I know Forrest Whitaker. I think he's cool.
You did lie to me. I thought I was losing my mind.
Movies and TV shows. Here we go. Luther. Haven't seen it. Thor.
Oh, Luther's so good. Oh my god, what a great TV show.
Turn Up Charlie. Oh.
I don't know what that is.
The Office. The Wire.
I need to see that. Dark Tower was awful. I need to see The Wire.
Oh boy, I haven't even like heard of half of these movies. I've seen Mandela or
You got kickoff.
Lobo. Yeah, sure.
I can't believe I forgot he was in Thor. He was in Infinity War. Spoiler alert: he gets ghosted. He gets dead. Not he doesn't get dusted like other characters.
Was he one of the people at the gate? The like Thor gate into Thor land?
Yes, he was the one in charge of that. Actually, the Bifrost.
I thought that from what I remember, he was cool.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't do a whole lot, but he's pretty cool as far as things go. Just because he's naturally a badass. Man, I hated him in The Office though. God damn, his character was so annoying. But anyways, I think I've said my piece on all that.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with you. Like I gave you my scenarios in which I'm like, yeah, I don't like it, but it's not really. One of them's never happened, and the other ones I couldn't get there in time. Ooh, nice one, teammate. Being there. Heimdall is like the gatekeeper, right? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he was
Sweet.
black in the comics, and they changed him for the movies, but again, it is.
For me though, like again, for me watching it, I'm like, I don't know the comics, so what do I give a shit, you know? And if I heard that they changed them in the comics, I think it's made like that. That's, you know, I've gotten an attachment for a character, and he's a certain way in my eyes and my brain, right?
You know,
This
that's
is how I remember
interesting.
him.
I think you might be onto something there, because even the whole making Link black thing, I was like, that does rub me the wrong way, but I can't figure out why. And I don't think it's because I'm racist. It might be because like once you've already kind of established that character in your head, it is weird to see them change.
Because in real life, like, that's jarring to see a person change like that.
Wow, that was
Goddamn.
incredible.
But if they made Link a woman, I also would want the character to just be called Linkle. Like, that's it. Like, that's. Would it bother me all that much? I don't know, probably not. But
Yeah, again, like the continuity thing is certainly, you certainly got a case there. It's a character that has continuity in my head, even if not in a video game
yeah,
or whatever. So I guess I can see why comic book fans. God damn, this team.
oh! You see art of race-bent Link often, and it helps. I would like that. I would like to see that. I would like to see a Gerudo Link. Even though, you know, dudes. But could you imagine that would be like the turn of the game? It'd be like, the villain isn't fucking Gerudo. He's the hero's from Gerudo, and the villain's the Ganon's actually a Hylian, an Elfman.
I was gonna say I hadn't heard a lot of complaining about Heimdall being black, and it might just be the Idris Elba effect. Like everyone's like, well, okay, he can do it. And you know, I don't think I've seen anyone complain about Will Smith being the genie. It's more just about like he looks awful when he's blue. It's like in the trailer they showed more of him just without being blue, just looking black. I was like, oh, that's much better. Just leave him as a black guy, please.
To be fair, too, he's like the genie was a blue man. He wasn't really anything else. So I don't. Anyone you'd choose, they'd be. But if they changed the genie to look red, I think people would probably not like it. And like both Link and Zelda are reincarnated, so it'd make a lot of sense for one of them to be born. Yeah, I mean, in terms of we basically said that already. That like lore-wise, it makes sense. but you know, there's the attachment like of how you see the character in your brain.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think
And so
right
it's a
now.
little,
I'm a huge fan of the third Witcher game, and Netflix is doing that thing. And so, like, if they randomly made Geralt gay and black, that would be off-putting to me. Not because I have a problem with black or gay, but because that doesn't fit with the character in my head.
it's not what they look like, and that's not what they've been established
Yeah,
as.
him being a straight dude is very much part of his character. Now, it may not be like yeah, like you could change that, and it's not like his character would be ruined, but it would be a change to the character. And as far as being black, you know, it's kind of that whole thing, like in that region, how many black people are there, kind of thing. I don't know. It's not an actual historical place, so you could have black people if you wanted.
Yeah.
It's mostly just that's not what Geralt is to me, so it would be jarring, and I wouldn't like that.
Well, imagine if one of your friends, like, just one day came up and they're like, "I'm black now."
Is there something you want to tell me?
You'd be like,
Are you fishing to see how cool I would be with it? I went for it.
"Oh no, no!" It's just like it'd be jarring. You'd be like, "God damn!" Like, like holy shit. Like at the end of the day, it's like you do you, man, because you're another human being. But like, it's fucking jarring.
Geralt has multiple love interests, and all of them are hella hot. You know, I don't think they've ever established that Geralt is not into dudes.
Yeah.
You.
But they said he
okay,
was no longer into
the,
women.
The only thing keeping you from playing The Witcher is that Geralt is a dude. Yeah, like, if that's that one change is the only thing stopping you from playing The Witcher, it's such a good game. Please overlook the fact that main character is a male.
I have to pee.
Okay, PRB. It's so good. If you think you would like it, Witcher is on PC, yes, and Yennefer is incredibly hot, and I wouldn't mind her railing me either. So I guess the most controversial thing, I think it's also on PS4 and Xbox as well. Right. And it also wouldn't be ridiculous to have one black person either. You could just say like they came from another land. Oh yeah, it was definitely not on like the Switch then. Cuz like Geralt is already a kind of an outsider a bit in the lore. Like, it wouldn't be ridiculous to be like, this is a Witcher that came from an area that has black people in it.
Oh, I was gonna say too, the Doctor Who thing. I didn't know about Doctor Who, and I was watching the first season, right? And I thought it was all right. I was watching, I was like, I don't know about this show.
The
and as
first
soon
season,
as they,
talking about the dude with the leather jacket.
yeah, as soon as they changed the character, because they, you know,
Yeah.
they changed him to a new Doctor Who, I was like, I hate this show.
Well, that
Like instantly,
second Doctor's
I
way better. It's a much better show.
well, no, it's. I just like I was on the fence about the show anyway, liking it, but then they changed the character and that jarred me. I was just like, nah.
I honestly,
I don't like that you changed the character.
I honestly think that season was trash. I don't know why anyone likes it. And everyone likes David Tennant better, but Matt Smith is the real Doctor to me.
Oh my god.
Honestly, Doctor Who's not that good.
I would say David Tennant is better, but you know this was back when I was watching it way a long time ago. But I also hate Doctor Who in general. I don't like the premise of the show.
Not that great.
I don't like.
It's low budget, cheesy sci-fi.
But yeah, like as soon as they changed the character, me and my mom both, because I was watching it with my mom, right? Because I was young enough to be watching it. I was still living at my parents' house, and yeah, my mom and I both were just like, yeah, we don't like this anymore. But like, we didn't realize that was also the point of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But like, we were just like, nope, we're done.
Oh, are you talking about Jenna Coleman? Holy shit, is she like not like 10 out of 10 pretty?
But Angel, I get what you're saying in that because you know, like the Gerudos in Zelda, I think might be the argument you're making. Like if there was a white Gerudo, you'd be like, I don't. It's a little weird. I don't think there was any in Breath of the Wild.
Jenna Coleman is like distractingly pretty.
You like Star Trek. You can't say shit about cheesy sci-fi. Well, I don't... I don't think Doctor Who's cheesy.
Doctor Who is nothing
Well, I
but
mean, it
cheese.
is... It is cheesy, sorry. I don't give a shit that it's cheesy. I don't like the premise whatsoever of the show, though. I don't like... They just make shit up. None of it makes
Star
any
Trek
sense.
is way less cheesy than Doctor Who. It has... It's a good show that has cheese instead of a show that is all cheese. And I've watched like a lot of episodes of Doctor Who and enjoyed a bunch of them. I liked the Matt Smith and some David Tennant stuff.
There is a pale-skinned Gerudo? Interesting. I don't remember.
But it just in general, I like that there's more diversity going on. You know, maybe it's pandering, but I like seeing like some more representational stuff. Sue me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Like, I actively prefer that there are more types of characters than just white guys. Because I think I like having more variety.
You know, it's one of those things I agree with you on principle, but when I'm watching a movie, I don't typically think about that.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm-
talking about any specific movie. I'm just saying, like, movies in general,
Yeah,
media in
I
general.
know, like, you know me with movies, though. I am brain dead. when it
Sure,
comes
I mean,
to
it's same
movies. I
thing
don't-
with video games, comics, all of it.
Yeah.
In general, on the whole, I think it's a good trend. Oh, sad flip.
Like, I hate, I hate Call of Duty games and shit like that because of it, because it doesn't feel diverse. Not in terms of, like, the cast, necessarily, but it's just
Yeah.
like, the big square jawed shooter man. He's on the cover, he's fighting for his family. He's a family man.
America.
I don't America, like I don't care. That's why I like anime a lot too, is because like while they don't necessarily have diversity of like skin color a lot, one could make an argument about ink and manga and all that shit, and like used more ink and required them, but I have no idea. I know that was a reason why Goku's hair was
Yeah.
black, right? It was like not because of ink, but because of like
Sorry, black people. It's too costly to represent you. I actually think that might
But
be
just-
a legit like problem for a lower budget studio making that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
But Goku's hair was black because it was just like, that's the ink we have. And then when he turned Super Saiyan, they're just like, all right, now it's white.
Yeah.
Like it was, but then when they colored it on the thing, they're like, oh, it's gold now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, variety in general is a good thing.
but that's why I like anime, because like at least in terms of gender, they have like a lot of chicks that are badasses, and that's like, I love me a badass
Yeah,
chick.
it's great. Spider Gwen is awesome. That's where we started here. And maybe you could say that she started as forced diversity, like, we got to get a woman Spider-Man, but like it became a great character, so who cares? It's not necessarily a bad
Oh,
thing.
fuck me.
I actually really like that new Batgirl. I think she looks cool as hell. I haven't read like any of the comics or anything, but I think her character design looks awesome.
Oh yeah, I also just read your thing, Mifa, and yeah, that kind of makes sense in terms of like having to have a Gerudo husband and shit, or not a Hylian husband rather. Also, like, you know, albino-ness is a thing, right? So it could be the random mutation thing you're talking about.
Not just because I'm horny. That's only like 40% of why.
And like watching, like when I was watching Durarara, this guy wasn't like a badass as far as I knew yet, but like the black Russian sushi chef, he was great. I loved
Yeah,
it.
that sounds like a fun
He was like,
character.
especially his English voice actor. So, just. Slipping that 69 in there, maybe. Was there any Black Hylians? Because I thought I remembered one in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you want to get behind him, Angel? I haven't actually read the top comment yet, but you can get behind. Oh, I can get behind more women characters too. Am I right?
and then you like you have to tap them on the shoulder because you want to like have a good conversation with them, and learn about them, and you kind of need eye contact.
You can get behind more women characters more than the race thing.
Well, I would say maybe part of that's just because as people we tend to go towards things that are familiar. Oh,
I mean that almost sounds like it's because the whole representational thing is almost what that sounds like. You get because there are huge differences in gender, but race doesn't change a whole lot. So you're in favor of. I don't know. I don't get that one. I don't see why it matters.
your dad got a new router. Awesome, Mifa.
Oh man.
I hope that
Yeah,
does something.
I really hope that your internet stuff gets better.
I don't know what you're supposed to...
Internet problems really suck.
Because, like, you know, that's only one piece of the puzzle. You have if your router is a modem, then fine. But, you know, you potentially have your modem then instead. And then also the ISP, you know, your plan, who knows what you upload you're supposed to get. I mean, you guys would know. I wouldn't, obviously, but I do hope.
You actively want more women characters more than you want new race characters. I mean, could that be because there's already a lot of white characters? So, like, maybe if you were black, maybe you would be like, oh, it's not that I have a problem, but I also wouldn't mind seeing more black characters. And I think there's like a measured, reasonable expectation or like hope that want things that look more like you.
Yeah, fingers crossed, me too. I would like to see more girl characters just because I'd rather look at a girl character than dude
Yeah,
character.
I can get behind that.
I make most of my characters and creative characters women in video games. Mainly because I'd rather see a badass chick do stuff than a badass dude. Oh, see?
Men and women act differently in totally different body shapes, different colors, and are just which matters less to me. Not that I care about having races. You want to see, you know, Mifa's would like to see more representation of LGBTQ, and I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Though, like, for me, most of the media, I don't give a shit about their, like... In the media that I'm watching...
Yeah, like Overwatch, him being gay doesn't affect the game at all.
Yeah.
Like there's no storyline
the reasons...
in Overwatch.
Like, I don't even care if a character's straight. Like, I don't...
Yeah,
I don't
their
give a
sexual
shit. Because
preference
I don't...
doesn't matter.
For me, you know, that's...
I mean, it doesn't matter to the story. Like, imagine in Bloodborne if you could pick gay or straight at the start. Like, that would have literally no impact on gameplay. What would it matter?
Yeah, and the things that I like, it doesn't matter. You know, there's story games, right, where the characters are potentially getting involved with each other, and if you like that story...
You could have more gay characters in anime. Like, that would actually affect the story of the show, or could possibly affect the story of the show.
Depending on the show. In like a show like Index, or I guess more like Railgun. But in Railgun, there's a lesbian girl that's obsessed with the obsessed with Railgun, and it's funny. I think because they put humor by it. You know, they do the typical like I want you and I'm gonna try to like peep on you and shit like that in the shower, and you know, I find that stuff entertaining. But if they didn't mention that whatsoever in the show, her sexuality, it wouldn't have any bearing on the show, on that story, because the show's not about their relationships with each other. It's about the dumb shit that's happening in Academy City.
Well, here's another point: is that I think one of the best ways to represent LGBTQ is for it to just be part of their identity, but it doesn't have to be part of the storyline. Like, a lot of times, like, a person is just straight. Like, you might find out that they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend if they're a boy or girl or whatever, and that's and they don't actually do anything with that romance in the storyline, but it could just still be part of their character. Like, just because they're gay doesn't mean we have to have a gay romance plot line in the thing.
Well, no, that's not what I was saying.
I understand, but
like, for me, I don't give a shit, right? Like, it's if they said it, I'd be like, all right, whatever. But like, it's not if they say it, I'm like, oh, that has nothing to do with the show. I'm just like, I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's important not to like put expectations on, like, oh, if you're gonna have a gay character, you better represent them properly, or you better show them in a certain light. Like, being gay you're like, the character should be a human. You know, should have human qualities.
Yeah.
And being gay is just like one of the aspects of them. They should still be either a good person or a bad person, depending on how you wanted the character to be. Like, it's just a thing. It's just one of the attributes. And if, you know, if making them gay, like, compromises your vision for the character, don't do it just to force the diversity in. But it also wouldn't hurt to have more characters that just happen to be gay.
Yeah.
And gay here being a stand-in for, like, the entire LGBTQ, just because that acronym takes a long time to say.
Yeah, it's just... It literally has the same meaning, no matter what thing we say. What's up there, Virus? Thanks for the host.
Hey, Virus.
How you doing, Virus? Ooh, that's a nice color on my screen right now. That you are a nice bluish grayish. I like that. See, you care even less about sexuality because it only matters if there's little love interest.
You are on kickoff.
Yeah.
So we are up 4-0 with a minute to go. Literally no way we could lose now.
Yep. Impossible.
Being black, that's obnoxious. Just like if a character's whole personality is being gay, it's the same. And since being gay is not entirely physical, they have to say something to make it known and relevant. It can be mentioned that's not a listener, I just want it to be relevant. See, that's exactly. Oh my god! I almost like looked up from reading and scored a goal, a long goal. See, this thing is like I was just saying how it doesn't have to be relevant to the story. It can just be a character attribute because.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do that shit all the time in Japan too. They'll show like their anime character and then they'll give their height.
Yeah, their
like,
favorite food might not ever come up in the story, but it's still like an attribute of the character. And if they want to add a gay person just cause, then it doesn't matter, even if there is no love interest thing. Like, it might be like frivolous and unnecessary, but so what?
Long day. I hear you, Virus. I kind of had a long work day too, because I found a bad bug and started to have to mash at it.
If they're
Oh,
shoving it in your face, I guess. Like if they're constantly reminding you that the character's gay, but they don't do anything with it in the storyline, then I that would be annoying.
You probably wouldn't, if that's the case, you might not like the lesbian girl in Index then, because if she isn't cool, kind of intern police girl with teleportation powers, she is, I'm trying to sneak a peek on Railgun while she's nude.
Well, see, that's part of her character then. That's like an aspect of her character. I'm trying to wrap my head around Angel's argument about.
Well, no, it's because it's like that's it. Like that's like her only attribute when she's not in those situations. There's no, she's not a diverse character.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I'd
I
probably
think that's
find it kind of hot, so I don't know if I necessarily
No,
complain, but
no, I don't necessarily agree with it because I find it entertaining, but
because Angel's saying if that's their whole personality is being black, that's obnoxious. If the whole character's personality is being gay,
yeah, it's okay. Tonight's weird.
It has been weird.
It's just like,
yeah, it looks like we're not the only ones. Well, you see his avatar is the Falcon logo upside down drinking.
I didn't see that.
It's my football team. It's hilarious. I love that picture. That's your whole personality, Mifa? I don't know. I think you also appreciate titties. I think I'd go out on a limb here and say that that's.
I mean, you talk about video games and stuff too, but I think mainly like.
She's obviously joking, but. Details of a character make them more interesting, I'll admit to that. I do that with all characters at... You know, not to be smarmy here, but it might have been a good night for you to jump in the Discord, Angel. Not that I have a problem reading large blocks of text, but probably been easier to
trying to get that
do the back and forth. I didn't expect this topic to turn into a full night of discussion. I actually wasn't even planning on talking about it. I just brought up Spider-Man into the Spitterverse. I can't look until someone scores a goal.
I don't have very much boost. I can get that over to other people.
Get that shit out
It
of
would
my
be
house.
funny Whether or not she's swooning over a girl or boy. Well, it's funny, but like that's all she does. Nice. That's all she does. Like people get annoyed with it potentially because like it's like I get it. I want to see her butt, and there are times where I'm like, yeah, I get it. You want to see her butt, or you want to do whatever because like that situation specifically wasn't funny. You know what I mean? It wasn't like
I had a problem like that in Konosuba. Alright. Yeah, I think it's just kind of how it's handled. Like, a pervy scene can be funny. It just depends on how it's handled.
yeah. Because like literally, if they had the same exact pervy scene all the time, you'd get bored of it. So if they had, it's just literally
Which
like
is what Angel's saying, is that, like, if the only thing about that character, if they're entirely one note and just only gayness, she's like, that would be kind of annoying. But if they're a side character, like plenty of side characters only have one thing. Like the dude in Avatar, The Last Airbender, like it was just him and his cabbages, and it was kind of, I mean, that's again played for comic sake.
She's like the secondary main
Oh
character.
my god! Yeah, that character should have more depth than just.
But there's a lot more. But there's a lot more secondary main characters. You know what I mean? Like there's Railgun. Oh, I got dunked. There's Railgun as the main, but then there's a bunch of different girls, right? So each one of the girls has their own thing, and because there's so many different characters, it's not like it's that big of a deal. There are some like moments where the plot gets
really,
serious.
Angel, that you're just kind of arguing that one-note characters are bad, no matter like what that one note is, gay, straight, or whatever. Yeah, one-dimensional personalities, exactly.
I was just trying to delay, and I expected some.
Yeah, I fucked that up. That was on me.
Also, teammate was just kind of leisurely coming back.
So I'm not sure if your argument is fair for the whole diversity thing that we're talking about, because you're arguing against one-dimensional personalities being bad more than you are our whole diversity thing.
Yeah, Mifa. Yeah, that's the same thing with straight.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because, like, again, with the whole pervy thing, the pervy scenes with a dude to a girl are funny, but if they do the same exact kind of scene a lot in the show, you're just like, I get it. Like, find a new way to... I got dunked on again. Find a new way to be pervy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit that you're pervy. Some people might complain that they're always pervy, but they...
I think comedy, it's a little bit tougher when it comes to comedy, because being a one-dimensional character can be the joke itself. So,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
comedy it's a little bit different.
But again, you know, you can't say the same joke over and over and over again.
Sure.
But you can be on theme.
Right,
For a
right,
joke.
right. Yeah, that's what I was saying, like, you know, pervy jokes done well can be funny. And doing the same exact joke over and over.
God damn it. I'm just not getting there in time. Ugh. Oh shit. I thought you were going back from there.
I should have, but, you know,
Oh, don't you say okay, teammate. You can eat a big dick.
I was getting a little desperate because we were down by 2. Diverse for the sake of being diverse, you can more easily run into the problem of one-dimensional characters. Is that true? And again, like, how can you prove that a character is diverse for the sake of being diverse?
Again, you can prove that if that's their that's their PR statement. You know what I mean? That's their advertisement is, look at us, we have gay characters, right?
I just can't think of any examples of that.
No, I can't. But I'm saying like
Yeah,
a
like-
way to prove it if
Like,
is
yeah,
if
I'm saying, like,
that
I guess I could see that, yeah, but I've never seen it before. So it's like, without that kind of evidence, are you really just making yourself mad by, like, imagining that it's forced diversity?
Did Ghostbusters like actually do that though?
I mean, the ladies like took a picture saying "girl power" together, but that wasn't like marketing material. That was just the cast being excited that in an industry that's mostly male dominated, that they all kind of work together. And like if I don't really see why that's a problem. Like if 90% of the cast all went to the same college and they'd be like, yay, you know, whatever university power. Like,
we made a film.
yeah,
Look at us.
they would.
I think more people who opposed the movie were the ones saying, look, they're all women and that's their whole platform. I think it was mainly the people that were opposed
Like the
to it.
trailer for Ghostbusters didn't go, finally, we have an all-female cast. You know, like it was just a really shitty trailer because it wasn't funny, and it wasn't any good, and the movie turned out to not be good. See that? That was a teammate was the same guy with the Falcons logo upside down, drinking beer.
Yeah, I saw it that time.
It's really great because we've been sucking it up. It's hilarious to turn the Falcon upside down and make it look like it's drinking. So, well, so you're saying, hey, look, they're all women, yay. So, like, what is the example of the PR saying that though?
Well, she said she doesn't remember the actual ads for the movie. I think a lot of it was hyped up by the people who created that narrative of they're doing this for PR.
Because I know that I think 2 or 3 of the ladies all knew each other from SNL.
Yeah,
So it could be kind of a we got SNL friends together because they did a bunch of improv during the movie. So it's these actresses will have charisma and connections, and they'll riff off of each other really well. Not that necessarily they were we could a male actor would be better in this role, but screw that, we're gonna go all women to be diverse. Because you can get 4 great actresses and make an amazing movie. So is it really bad to just go pick 4 women?
Mifa, yeah, I saw the old Ghostbusters, but literally I was so young I don't remember anything from it. So I haven't seen.
Original Ghostbusters had a black guy. Is that token forced diversity, or was that guy just really good? That guy did a good job in his role. Who cares what his color was? Unless you can prove that he took the job of someone that would have done a better job, which is nearly impossible. I don't know how you call it forced diversity.
I love this song. What?
I think I've made the same argument 500 times tonight. So. Whew.
I think our argument is you have to assume a lot of things to prove it, especially for the Ghostbusters movie. You have to make a lot of assumptions.
I think the Ocean's 8 movie, you could absolutely say they decided they wanted all women. That was very clearly the idea of that movie, was to redo Oceans but with women.
Well, I think the same thing with Ghostbusters. I think their idea was to do it with women. I don't.
Sure.
But I don't think necessarily that it was that they wanted to do it all women for the PR points. That's the point that I have a problem with it. Is exactly for the PR points, and that's it. And I'm I don't like it. But if they wanted to make the movie all women, I don't care.
Yeah, and just because you can't come up with an example doesn't mean that you're wrong or anything. You could very well be right, even when you can't come up with an example on the spot.
Yeah.
Because I know I keep coming back to those two because those are movies Ocean's 8 and Ghostbusters
Whoa.
were both originally
Got lag.
movies that were then rebooted with an all-female cast. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like even if that was just the entire premise was like, hey, let's put women in those roles. Like an all-women cast can be good, just like an all-men cast can be good.
Yeah.
Like in Ocean's 8, they had an all-women cast, and it's like, okay, so what does that change? Like, what does that add, other than they're a lot prettier than the original cast? Is like, well, they did a whole thing with a fashion show. Like they were stealing diamonds at a fashion show, and that's kind of a more female-oriented type thing. So, like, an all-female crew were able to infiltrate the fashion show better than maybe, say, an all-male cast would have.
Yeah.
It's like there's kind of something to that. The new Men in Black is gonna have a woman in it.
There's a new Men in Black.
Yeah.
Is Will Smith gonna be in it?
No, sadly.
Oh.
I got like Chris Hemsworth, I think, the guy who plays as Thor, is gonna be one of them, and then there's a woman that I don't remember who she is. Sorry, I was just trying to get away from that guy.
Yeah.
I will read that eventually, Angel. How about right now?
Yeah, familiar with the subject a bit.
Yeah, but you know, how do you know what the casting people did? And
Yeah, that's hard to also say.
and you know, they're going to pick what they think will sell the most tickets. There's just no way around that.
Oh shit! Though.
You know, they're doing it because they think diversity will help sell, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think the end result of having like more diversity is a bad thing.
There's also like, if the character ends up being bad, that doesn't necessarily mean that there was a better actor that could have taken the role.
Yeah, there's a million reasons why things get shitty.
They could have been written badly. The actor could have just did a bad job for that.
The director could have done a bad job. The writer could have given them bad lines. There's a million things.
Yeah. And also, there could be factually like better actors in general, right? But you can't have those same actors in every single movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't have
Justin,
top.
Justin posted something about the New Zealand thing. He's really into the that shooter in the New Zealand thing, and like he thinks there's something fishy going on. I don't know if... Oh, why did I do that? Now it's gonna take even longer. Yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm just like repeating myself a whole bunch of new words.
Oh, that is a lot of text, Justin. That is a lot. Oh, that bounce. I kind of want to do one Rumble game. Are you down for one Rumble game?
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't realize what time it was.
It's all good. I'm probably gonna stay up playing some Sekiro anyways. And this is... Oh my god, the Brazil.
We got a Brazil!
And in general, Angel, I definitely see where you're coming from, and I don't think like you're racist or anything. But
Yeah.
I just like, you know, at the end of the day, I like that there's more diversity in stuff. I want to see more women. I want to see more people of color. I really hate that phrase.
I don't like that phrase either. I don't like much of anything that points anything towards a race of whites versus everybody else.
Yeah, it is weird. It is that like that whole like other kind of like they're the other. But
I just we're people. I don't.
But I
like
also
any of that
think that people have been resistant to giving people of color a chance to be like leading roles, or like if you're a Muslim, you're most likely a bad guy. And I was like, all right, well let's see some Muslim characters that are good guys. Let's see some gay people that aren't just like the lead actress's best friend. Like just like mix it up. Yeah, variety is a good thing.
Yeah. Why is colored people racist? Literally the same as people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
that
don't know.
it probably has to do with the history of how the word was, that phrase is used. I wouldn't know.
But I like grammatically, it's just like that's the exact same thing. Come on, guys. Like that just. I think it's dumb. I think this kind of like name shit, bad connotations from segregation.
It would have to do with the history. It's the same thing with the N word. It's like it's the history of that word that is why people don't like it.
I just hate the word politics or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because I hated the time where not calling them African Americans was racist. It's like, come on, just. Oh man, I don't have boost for this shit. You kidding me?
I guess because fountains would say whites and coloreds only. I guess it's it's a highlighting the segregation that used to exist. I'm not sure. You would have to talk to an expert, like the person that invented the phrase "colored person."
People are.
Yeah, and talk to the guy that invented that. Ask him. Ask him why he made it so racist. I don't know if it's racist, but it's maybe inaccurate would be a good. Yeah. Also, I don't like the whole idea of being like, we're gonna refer to you by the country before you got here.
Yeah, you're not even necessarily like your family might not. You could be like fourth generation.
Yeah, it's like
you know what I mean.
You're an American. You were born in America. You are American. That should be the end of it.
That was the main thing I had a problem with that phrase. Was just like it's just dumb.
My biggest problem is how fucking long it takes to say. I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
African American every time. Fuck that.
This.
I'm glad to hear Zord Quest is
Jesus.
easy.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds fun. Again, though, a lot of these like dancing around these words, the people of color versus colored people, just sounds so similar and literally is like the same thing, just like a rearranged sentence. You know what I mean? A rearranged phrase that it's just like it feels like walking on eggshells in a way. At least for me, for that phrase. And that's something I don't like about it. But I don't use that anyway. I don't use that
minorities is a lot faster to say, but
yeah, that's
but that's that's dependent on where you are, because obviously in Africa they're not minorities. White people would be the minorities. So like when you're trying to refer to non-whites, what do you call them? And I guess maybe non-white it would be.
But then people might have a problem with that because they might be like, "Oh, you like, are you saying that there's a problem because they're non-white?" Or I don't know. Like,
yeah, I guess they would want to use like, instead of saying what attribute they don't have, you're listing the attribute they do have.
oh fuck, he was there. Yeah. Oh, you dick!
But I'm not going to say people of color every time. That's so long.
Jesus. People are kicking our butt.
Give me something shorter to say other than people of color.
I just wish a lot of these phrases didn't have such huge negative connotations in general anyway. We could just get on with our day.
Yeah.
Make things a
I
lot
definitely
easier.
agree with that. I hate gotcha racism. Like, oh, you didn't use the word we told everyone to use. You didn't get the memo. That makes you racist. Like, well, how about you look at what the person said? Like what was the context? What did they mean behind it? What was their intent? Who's black and who's brown? Angel, are you fucking racist? I can't believe you just said that. That's a joke.
Rumble was a mistake.
People in West Africa are black people. But, I mean, there are people that are like a lighter shade. They're like brown, not black. I'm still gonna, like, I would still call Obama a black guy, even though I guess, like, he's more brown. But also, who gives a
Yeah.
shit?
I think it's less of a description of their actual.
Damn.
Jesus, dude. Why are you so good? It's less of a let's get out our color palette and let's
Yeah.
put it against their face. It's more that
Start
one's more
referring to everyone by their
representative.
hex
Like,
code.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. I was playing too. I like black and white because they're so fast. You just call them a black guy or a white guy.
yeah.
Asian, it's nice and quick.
Easy.
Asians
Easy.
are so nice and so quick.
Quick maths.
Yeah, if you were in the Discord, you could have made it before me, Angel. Oh
That's
no! What is with this
Fuck.
game? Alright, well, if I'm just gonna get tornadoed and booted and teleported, then I guess I don't get to play. Oh look, I touched the ball. Hurry up, timer, before they score again. No! Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard
Oh, I even boosted him upwards too.
time.
Do you notice that? I looked at him and was
No,
like,
I
wait,
put
shit,
my
I can boost
controller
him. Watch. Like, wait, I can fuck him up actually.
Oh my god, it still went in. Just it's squeezed into the crossbar. No, yeah. You coulda joined. 20 minutes left.
Ranks going down, down, down. As the flames went higher.
Oh, he posted a video as well. Just the tip of the iceberg. New Zealand has gone mental with this. Really seems like he's pushing that it was like a false flag operation. That
Let me. That is a 36-minute video. I am not going to watch.
I can tell you the gist of it is probably that New Zealand wanted to pass gun controls so that they like someone was behind this guy doing the shooting just so that New Zealand could pass gun control legislation, which I kind of doubt that this video will have evidence that will convince me of that. Requesting personally identifying information of users talking about the shooting in the video. Oh, so now it's not even just the gun control thing, but they're going to be like, oh, they're using all of this just to mess with people's privacy, which is a legitimate concern, but I don't know if I don't think this was a false flag operation to push all that.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about some of the